Yo, what's good out there, world? Welcome to this edition of Trademark Sunday's Best, the Prep Edition. And today, I'm going to be prepping for you some homemade chicken style lasagna sauce, and I'm going to be making it here in my Insta pot. Now, I received this for Christmas, and this will be the first time I'm using it. I'm not going to lie, I was petrified to use this thing at first because I always just been kind of like, nervous about using pressure cookers, but today I drummed up enough courage to do so. Now, here are the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this homemade chicken style lasagna, and they are as follows. So right here, I'm going to be using two 15-ounce cans of this Catalina tomato sauce. Here at the top, I have one 6-ounce can of tomato paste, and right here I have a 10-ounce can of Rotel mild diced tomatoes. Now I'm also going to be using one medium onion that I'm going to dice, also with this green pepper. Now for my seasonings, I'm going to be using some onion powder. Right here I have some McCormick vegetable seasoning, and also I'm going to be using some of this Italian seasoning. And here in the front I have some garlic powder. Now right here, this is some Knorr's chicken flavor bouillon. Now I'm just going to use this just to mix it up so I can get me a little chicken broth. Now let's get to the meat that we're going to be using to make this homemade chicken style lasagna. I'm going to be using some chicken thighs. Now this is a 2-pound pack. I don't even know if I'm going to use all of it. I'll probably just use like a pound or a pound and a half. Right here I have 1 pound of Purdue ground chicken, and right here I have 12 ounces of this all natural Italian style smoked chicken sausage. Now to cut some of that twangy taste, I'm going to be using like a half a cup of this light brown sugar, and I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of this raw honey. Now once again, here are the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this homemade chicken style lasagna sauce in my Instapot. Now, let's get to cooking. I'm also going to be using some Morton season oil, some of this McCormick pink Himalaya salt with black pepper and garlic, and to give it some heat, I'm going to be using some of this roasted garlic and bell pepper, also made by McCormick. So right here, I already have all my meat prepped. Right here, this is my 12 ounces of chicken sausage, and I diced them up. Right here, I didn't have too much prepping to do to this, but to take that pad from up under the ground chicken. Right here, I diced up the medium onion and the green pepper. And right here, I used 1 pound of the boneless chicken thighs, and I'm about to season. Now, before I season my chicken, I just want to let you know that I already cleaned my chicken off, and I rinsed it with some cold water, and I used some paper towels to pat it dry. So now I'm about to add my seasoning. Remember, I do not measure, but first I'm going to go in with some season oil. Right here, I have some onion powder, some garlic powder, and also I'm going to be using some of this Himalaya pink salt, black pepper, and garlic mix made by McCormick. And then I'm just going to go in and season this and mix it well. And I'm going to add a little more of the salt mix. And I'm going to add a little more season oil. So now, since I got this mix, let's go to the next step, and I'm gonna meet y'all at the stove. So now you can see that I have 2 pans going. So this pan right here that I'm putting the oil in I'm going to use this pan right here to first start sauteing my vegetables. And right here, I'm putting some oil in this griddle pan. And I'm going to put my chicken in that pan. So I got everything going. I'm going to saute these vegetables probably for 3 minutes. And then over here, I'm cooking my boneless chicken thighs. And I'm going to cook these until they're well done. I'm going to throw a little of this McCormick salt-free vegetable seasoning over top of my veggies. And continue to let that saute. So as you can see, my chicken is over here cooking, and I'm actually going to turn this down to a medium. And I'm going to now add in my chicken sausage to my sauteed vegetables. And I'm going to cook this until it's thoroughly done. And that shouldn't take no more than about 7 minutes. And I'm also going to place a lid on top. So now that my sausage is done, I'm going to add a little more oil to the pan, because remember, ground chicken doesn't make oil like the ground beef. So I just added a little oil. So now I'm just going to add in my ground chicken. And ground chicken is really stringy. So I like to chop it up. Now, on top of this chicken, ground chicken, I'm going to throw some vegetable seasoning on it, and also some seasoning. So I'm going to give this a little toss around in the pan, and I'm going to let this sit here probably for 2 to 3 minutes before I start agitating it some more. And over here goes my chicken, and the chicken is pretty much done. This is getting ready to come out the pot in the pan. And I'm going to see y'all at the next step. So now all my chicken products are done. So I have my chicken sausage, I have my ground chicken, I also have my chicken thighs and my sauteed onions and green peppers. And I'm just going to set this aside for now, and let's get ready to use this Instapot. So now let's get all these ingredients inside of my Instapot. So first I'm going to use 2 cups of chicken broth. Now, if you want to use vegetable broth, that's okay too, but I just prefer to use chicken broth. Right here, I have my 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce and my 10-ounce can of Rotel diced tomatoes, and I'm just going to get that in. Now we're going to go in with some seasonings. So remember, I do not measure, but pretty much I'm going to be using anywhere from a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of seasoning. And then I'm going to always, once it gets done, I'm going to taste it again to see if I need to add any more seasonings in. So first, I'm going to just go in with some onion powder. Next, I'm going to go in with some of this Italian seasoning. Now I might go a little heavy on this since this is an Italian dish. Right here, I'm going to go in with some of my roasted garlic and bell pepper. And like I said, this is just to give that sauce a kick. Right here, I'm going to go in with some of my Himalayan pink salt with black pepper and garlic. And also, I'm going to use a little garlic powder. Next, I'm going to go in with my meat and my sauteed vegetables. So before I add the next ingredients in, I'm just going to give this a little stir. Stir some of this up. So now, the next thing I'm going to add is my 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to add, this is probably going to be like a 1/2 tablespoon of honey. And once again, I'm going to give this a stir. And on top of this, I'm going to add my 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. And I'm just going to drop that in. And lastly, I'm going to add in just a little bit of black pepper. Hold up, I almost forgot. I'm going to add in, because I didn't even put this on when I was introducing the ingredients, I didn't even tell you that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, and I'm going to drop some bay leaves. Now this is equal to 2, but mine's are broken. So my second one is going to be in pieces. So once again, I'm going to give this another stir. And I'll see y'all at the next step. So now let's get our lid down and locked on our Instapot. And you heard that little music, that means that it's locked. So now I'm going to hit my pressure cook button. And as you can see, it's already on high and it's on normal. So now I'm going to bump up the time to 25 minutes. And because there isn't a start button, how this works is once it sit there for a couple seconds, and you're going to see it's going to turn on like it just did. Now, once the Instapot start getting hot, then it'll start counting down to 25 minutes. And one important thing that I forgot to say is we always make sure that our seal is on off. We don't want this on because the steam will start coming out and it'll defeat the purpose. So once it warms up, it's going to start to cook, and I'm going to see you then.